Hi everyone. This reading is impromptu. Once again, I am getting a political reading when I was doing a love reading. I was doing the Gemini love reading for April. And it was clear to me that it was also very political about Trump. Trump is a Gemini. So it was very hard for me to decipher between the two readings. I decided to go ahead and do the love reading first. And if you listen to that love reading, which I can post a link below, you'll see the nuances that will still play out in this Trump reading here. But minutes, literally 10, maybe 5-10 minutes after I posted my video, it was announced, breaking news, that Trump's America launched Tomahawk missiles at Syria. So I guess I should have did the Trump reading first, because then I would have got some credibility for making that prediction, because I do see bombs and I see attacks. With this tragedy card that came up in this reading, it is the same layout from the Gemini love reading. And anything that I said about the con man in the Gemini love reading, you can apply to this reading. Okay, and note that it was 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes, prior to the missile launching that we did, the bomb launching. Okay, so this is kind of, like again, this, like I said before, this isn't how I normally would read a political reading, so I've been trying to sort out how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the Sibilla cards first, and then we'll link the other cards to it. Okay, as they're close to it, we'll link those cards to it. So we start off in the center. We have the Sibilla, the King of Spades, the Priest to the left. In the center we have the reverse Gran Signore, the King of Hearts. And to the right of him we have the Tragedy card, the Seven of Spades. Now, the King of Spades, in Sibilla, the cards can mean so much. Now, the King of Spades, he can represent someone who's morally upright. It can also represent time. It can represent karma, justice, vindication. It can represent a healer or magician, someone who knows occult has occult knowledge, and it could be a lawyer, a judge, a doctor, a priest, someone who stands on a moral high ground. Okay. But the King of Spades can also represent someone who is undergoing legal proceedings, because it represents the law. Now, he's a court card, and in Sibilla, a card that's next to the court card represents their character. Okay? In my Trump reading that I did on Inauguration Day, Part 1 and Part 2, which I'll put in the link, I'll put the link in the description box below, the president is represented by Gran Signore, who is the center card, and the center card here. He was the center card in that reading. He's the center card here, so he represents the office of president. You'll note he is reversed. We have an upside down president here. And so right now, Priest is representing the character of this upside down president, okay? So this is someone who's taking an action. There's an emotional coldness in that action. Okay? and a self-righteousness in that action that they're taking. And as I say this, I'm jumping through the cards, and I'm going to try to explain why I'm saying what I'm saying. He's taking this action, right? This action the action that he's taking is he wants to show himself to be concerned about this chemical attack that happened recently. And I say that because of the Temperance card below. She's pouring water into vessels, chemicals into it. That makes me think of chemicals, right? Fluids, chemicals, right? So he's wanting to show a concern about this attack, but it's a pretense, guys. It's a cloak to cover true intentions. You see, the cloak of the priest is covering It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. That cloak is covering him up. And he's pointing to his left. And he's pointing to this Magi card. Okay, and the Magi, the magician, is someone who has a lot of power and influence over others, a lot of sway. And that's who this president is. He has a lot of power, influence, and sway. In the Gemini love reading, I said that a very powerful man has a lot of power and influence over you. And that is representing Trump right now. He's got a lot of power at his disposal. All the elements are on his table to use at his discretion. And I feel like this action, this concern he's trying to show is really a show. It really is a show. The magician is also putting on a show. He's a magician, you know. He's the stage hypnotist. He's putting on this show. Oh my God, I wish I had video right now, because it'd be so much easier than having to talk about all these cards. Below the magician, we have the Six of Cups. In this particular illustration, a woman is looking into the water, and she's reliving a scene of a days gone by, a beautiful time, or she's remembering something with rose-colored glasses. She's seeing a vision, she's seeing a scene. So to me, Six of Cups in this particular card also means television or media. Okay? So I feel like this person knows how to work the media, they know how to work the public, they know how to work what people see, what they hear. They have this power and this way to do that. They have an understanding and an occult knowledge of how to do that. Because it's the magician. And I see lots of references to occult knowledge in this reading. Anyway, so this is actually a ploy to shift the public's interest in, follow me now, we're going back to this priest here, and right above the priest we have the Justice card, which is legal proceedings. And the priest is someone who is either dealing with legal proceedings, or he is filing legal proceedings against someone. Now Trump is being investigated right now, guys. So to distract from this, he doesn't want you to see this. See, he's covering. He's pointing to the Magi. Okay, I will use this. Let's make him look over here. This whole attack thing. This is what he wants you to think about. This is what he wants you to concern yourself with, right? Concern yourself with this. Okay? I'm going to take the moral high ground. I'm going to show our power with that Magi card to the world. To all that are watching, see that page of swords in the upper right? He's got his little periscope, and he's looking out into the unknown, into the world. Okay, there's a card just like that in Sibylla called the Fairview. And that came out in my Trump reading. Page of Swords is playing that part today, okay? He represents the world stage. Everybody's looking. Okay? Trump is very aware everybody is looking. He wants to show he wants to curry favor again because he has lost support. He's lost support. Why do I say that? Because the priest is also known as an adversary, an enemy. This is supposed to be our advocate in the world. Trump is supposed to represent us, the people, United States of America. He's actually is our enemy, guys. Because remember, it describes the character of this president in the center of the Gran Signore. The priest is our adversary. He's our enemy. But he's trying to represent us. It's a pretense. And it's a ploy to distract us from the truth, the justice card. He doesn't want you to see the truth. He doesn't want us to look into this, to see the truth. Whatever he's being investigated about. This whole Russia thing. And the reason why I say he's lost the public favor is because the priest is in a love relationship. It represents emotional coldness and a loss of passion for. So this tells me that those that used to support him no longer do. Okay? He's feeling very isolated. He feels a need to show strength and a need to manipulate to get back that favor that he himself has delusionally visioned as him being loved. Magi has a purpose. He has a plan. He's ready to enact it. He's ready to launch it. He's ready to make it happen. He's envisioned this for a long, long time. See? With a long, long time, I say, with the Hierophant and the Six of Cups. He's envisioned it for a long, long time. And his dream is now coming true with that Nine of Hearts right above the Six of Cups. That's wish fulfillment. This is his dream. All this is what he wants to happen. He's felt blocked. He's felt blocked. He's struggling with self-doubt and fear right now. With all the negative reactions people are having towards him and all the halts, he thought it would be, he will be able to proceed with his dealings with less obstruction. But he doesn't give up. He doesn't take no for an answer. And he's determined to implement the change that he wants to happen. Very soon, very soon, very soon. Very soon. And I say this now in hindsight, apparently within 2 hours of my first laying out this reading, very soon. Because we all know what happened. Like I said before, he has this delusional concept that he was loved And I guess by his own party he was, but he's losing Curry with them as well. And in an effort to bring peace and harmony back, or to implement a design of a time of days gone by, make America great again. He's trying to usher in a new world order with this reverse Hierophant, employing tactics that will emotionally trigger the public to, he hopes, rally behind him as president. What better way to do that than to put us in a state of crisis? It's been done before, and it's worked before very successfully. 9/11. I forget what it was called, but something like that went down in the 1940s. Excuse my ignorance. But sometimes these tragedies, these things are done, or a war is declared, which it may very well be, guys, very shortly. And it's to unite the public who were, so that they can gain power. So that the public will no longer obstruct them. So it's all about igniting feelings very quickly in people. Again, triggering an emotional response and an impulsive reaction to gain and curry support. To get them to sign or to agree with a declaration. A declaration of what? It may even be employed to get a foreign power to sign a peace treaty or agreement, to show power and force to get them to sign some sort of peace treaty or agreement. But guys, I see this plan backfiring with this tragedy card, backfiring in the face of the president. Look at the tragedy card. It's blowing up in the face of the president. And then again, like I saw in the love reading, there's this deep psychic influence that this president is utilizing to sway people. It's very, very strong. Very hard for some to resist. There's a resistance to this man's plans, to his agenda, to his ulterior motives. In his mind, he feels they're just not morally, they're not spiritually evolved enough for his plan. They're not, they don't have sophisticated minds. They can't understand where he wants to take them, take us. Or they're just, they're just rooted in the past. They need to accept the new. That's his mindset. He doesn't think the public is ready for it, so he's going to force it on them. Force it on them by putting us in a state of crisis, or a state of war, a state of panic. But there'll be a lot of arguments, a lot of people trying to prevent this from happening. A lot of opposing forces. At times he will doubt himself, doubt if he's making the right decision. But in the end, he's going to stick with his views, no matter how kind of delusional they are. And he will justify his actions. He will justify his actions with this ploy of concern that it was morally unright for them to use chemical warfare against their people. That's just a tactic, guys. He's using it in hopes to get people to accept his terms, the way he wants to proceed, the way he wants to go forward. Look, I was right. See? I'm right. There is kind of jumping to the center here. I am in the center bottom here. And I haven't gotten to it yet because it's just like, oh man, all these sections play on each other. That's why it's hard to do my readings. They give me a lot of information, but it's hard to thread them all together because they all say the same thing sometimes, but then when to say it, when to dance through the information, that's my quandary. Because I see like a foreign power represented by this reverse Hierophant in the bottom right is also going to use this as a pretense of alliance, right? Oh, let us help you through this crisis. Who are they helping? I don't know. Are they helping the people we bombed, or are they helping us? I don't know. But whoever this is, and it's probably Russia, Putin, in the center here, which is the interaction between us and this foreign power, right, is they want to blend, they want to come and help us to blend their energies, blend their power with us, right, to help us through this crisis. There will be strong opposition to this union by the people, by the forces, by old establishments. And by the people. Now, okay, let's go up to Gran Signore reversed. Gran Signore right now is the President upside down. President upside down. Now, what does this card represent when he's reversed? When he's upright, he is about ultimate protection and conviction and faith and nobility. But when he's reversed, ooh, this is not a good person. This person is very unfaithful to those that he's supposed to protect and love. He misuses his power of authority and his trust. And he goes against the interests of the people. He has ulterior motives. He lacks self-control with all this tweeting and his actions now, because I feel like this was unthought out. It was an impulsive action in a manipulative attempt to try and get us back on his side. We were never on your side, Trump. Ugh. He has a spiritual deformity. He has a character flaw. He just. Ugh. But this also represents this foreign power that is going to try and come and help us, right? When we're in a period of critical need. It's telling us, beware. This will drag us down into tragedy. Will drag us down into tragedy. It also says that the pretense of this man is that he is coming from a moral high ground. But in truth, because he's a court card next to another court card, now this reverse King of Hearts, this Gran Signore reverse, is representing the character of the priest, who is supposed to be morally upright by his nature, right? But in truth, he's not morally upright. He's the reverse Gran Signore. And by accepting his help, he will drag us into a whirlpool of negativity. Wow. And I probably have already said this, but like I said, these cards, they tend to repeat themselves in each section. So his plan is to his plan of action and of attack is ultimately to restore harmony back into his life, to restore his power, because it's waning. It's been waning. And also this investigation that's next to him, that's going on with this Page of Swords, which is to me a spy, always a spy, espionage, someone who's observing, someone who's watching, someone who's waiting. Look, there's guns on the side of this. There's guns on the side of this guy. Okay? This could also be a sniper. Private eye, Secret Service agent, a spy, someone who's watching, someone who is observing, keeping an eye out. Doesn't he have like his own Secret Service agent? Didn't he send his own Secret Service agent or security guard with his son-in-law to some foreign country recently? Was it Syria? Because guys, I'm seeing Gran Signore is also someone who is blackmailing. It's also someone who could use blackmail against another. And the reason why I say that is because now it's threading together, because this card, this Page of Swords, is next to the Three of Clubs, which is gaining favor, gaining an asset. Gaining favor, gaining an asset through spy espionage, through blackmail, through information one can use against. I feel like there's some sort of information that's going to come out very, very soon, or is threatening to come out very, very soon. This may play out in many ways on the world stage and also in other ways. Guys, I'm zoning into it now, and I don't know if I'm making any sense. I feel like Wow, okay, I feel like there's some information that's going to come out really, really soon. It already did with these bombs, this bomb attack. That already came true. Very, very fast. So fast it made my head spin. I didn't get the reading out before it happened. But there's some more information that's going to be coming out very, very soon. And now, trying to figure out what this news or information is from the foreign power. I feel like do I want to go there right now? Okay, what I'm seeing right now is that the foreign power they're waiting for the right time to retaliate. They're going to be waiting for a better time to retaliate. I feel like they're going to try to not retaliate right away, which is probably the persuasion that they're getting, the energy that they're feeling is to retaliate right away. But they would prefer not to. They want to wait and see. This could be past stuff. I'm not sure if it's future. But if it is future, there's this waiting and seeing that they're doing. Maybe it's Russia. Somebody is waiting and seeing what we're going to do still before they decide what they're going to do, how they're going to retaliate. And that could be that there is going to be some sort of reach out to establish peace before, it gets worse, to have some sort of treaty or, after this show of power, to try and work out a treaty between them. But it's going to be very heated and probably it will somehow blow up in Trump's face. I think he thinks that he can control it, that he can show this power and that he can curry favor with the people. See, I'm strong. See, I'm doing what's best. I'm doing what's best. But this is going to blow up in his face because we have this tragedy card blowing up in the face of the presidential card, in the direction of the president's face. And then there is some sort of, like I said, I see guns with this Page of Swords. Somebody is keeping an eye out. And somebody has firepower. Okay? You can interpret that however you want. I'm not going to say anything else. Or the card just represents that these plans will end up backfiring in the president's face. Let's put it like that. The tragedy card from Sibylla pretty much represents the Tower card in the tarot. In the tarot, lightning is striking like a bomb from the sky, right? An arrow from the sky, a building, and it's destroying the building and everyone inside it. So here, tragedy strikes. This is probably the missile launch to Syria. This card also foretells a period of great turbulence is about to enter. It's going to come in very fast. It comes in as a plan to I'm looking at the Page of Swords now as a plan to, and with the reverse Hierophant, as a plan to uproot old establishment, to do away with the old world order, I guess you might use that term, and implement and rush in a new world order. But much like the Tower, this card represents events that are outside of our control now, and it's done now. Once this action was took, it can't go back. We can't go back to where it was. Now we have to deal with the consequences. The Justice card says we're going to have to deal with these consequences now. It's enacted. It's in our face now and can no longer be avoided. And there is a payment, a consequence to be repaid. Many will feel powerless, as a result of this. So it talks about more impending disasters, more, maybe even, I'm feeling like there's going to be some sort of terrorist bombing as the retaliation. Not sure how soon, but I feel like it's once these peace talks don't go well, that's when you'll kind of see it happening. Or I guess that will be an answer to someone's request for peace. I'm reaching here with that last one. I'm trying to find a better outcome than the one I was hinting at earlier. I don't know if any of this is making sense, guys. I may not post this. But in the end, I feel like some information is going to come out as well about secret information that was shared with Russia. It's very soon. It's very soon going to come out. And that's why maybe we're being forced into this crisis mode, so we don't focus on that. He doesn't want us to focus on that. I feel like this final card, the Seven of Spades reversed, is behind the Justice card at the top in the center, is saying, one, it's providing advice, right? It's providing advice to Trump. It's saying increase your security. You really need to increase the security around yourself. That also it's saying that the foreign power is saying we will not be undermined and we will not be perceived as weak. So that may be why there's going to be this bomb retaliation. I don't see where, guys, I'm sorry, I don't consider myself psychic. Like, I can't close my eyes and get images. That doesn't happen for me. I interpret cards. Sometimes I really will zone into a card and I'll just like it'll start speaking to me in a way, but so I can't really see who gets bombed. I do feel like a time frame is winter time, around the time of Sagittarius. Something is going to go down. Maybe that's when this information comes out big. Or the culmination, the consequence of this information is around that time. Because there's loss indicated here, and there is dismissal indicated here. Loss and dismissal. And it is painful, and it is sudden. And it is violent. And it is a grave mistake that we will pay for dearly. That could be what they're saying to us. This is a grave mistake. You will pay for it dearly. Wow. Somebody is saying to the president, this is a grave mistake. You will pay for it dearly. And there is some sort of Secret Service agent maybe even a double agent, I don't know, that's watching and waiting. Guys, I don't know if this reading made any sense at all. I did pull an oracle card, so let me go ahead and read that to you from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And we got the Fates. And the Fates say, I'll just read you the, there's 3 sections to each card plus a protection message if it's reversed. But I'll just read to you the Oracle message, okay? And it says, the Fates. The Fate is karma, it's acceptance, that there are things that you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. I'm sorry. There are things that you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life that you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit, for a greater purpose that you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in the cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and the work that with what those events, you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom in the Serenity Prayer. So, wow, interesting. As you can see, I'm no Trump fan, but I'm not against Republicans, guys. You got duped. This is a con man, guys. Ooh, extraordinaire. That's how the cards read for me. I didn't ask for this reading. I didn't ask for the first one, and I didn't ask for this one. But I got it, and I'm sharing it with you. And that's that. Have a pleasant day, and I guess I'll tune in for part 3 or 4 or 5. God bless us. Bye-bye. And I forgot to say, guys, so I'm adding it to the end of this reading. Because like I said, I see so much information that it's hard to process it all. I'll keep it all straight. But I do see, like, either this espionage guy, the Secret Service agent, who's close to Trump. There's some sort of connection between him and this foreign power, right? But like I said before in the love reading of Gemini, when I mentioned who Gemini is, or who Trump is, they're represented by this Magician card. They're showing themselves to be very powerful right now. A show of power and influence, great influence and sway over others, over the world. But I also said very strongly in both readings, and I'm going to repeat it again, there is a powerful person that has sway, a man who has sway over this person that is being represented, that represents Trump. There's a powerful man that has influence over him, who has influence over him. And there is a spiritual, magical, occult energy between these two people. Okay? I'm going to say that. And also, if it is this espionage person, or if it's somehow this espionage person is connected with this foreign power, right? We can say Putin. There's a blackmail of information that's being used against Trump that is influencing his actions, okay? There's information about him he doesn't want to blow up in his face. He doesn't want to get out. That is being utilized by one of the espionage person or this foreign power. And when this, I'm going to say it like maybe even a declaration of war, or at least against this particular country, or when the body count arrives, I just feel like Trump is not going to accept any blame for it. He literally doesn't feel like he is to blame for any of this, even though he was the mouth that made it all happen. He is, even in his mind, because if he was blackmailed into this or persuaded into this by somebody else's agenda, so he holds that person responsible for the outcome of this situation, for the consequences. But I feel like this also is saying that there's going to be some abrupt ending. When this ends, it ends abruptly. It ends abruptly. What does that mean? I mean, like I said before, I alluded to some things prior. But, I'm not quite sure how to, I honestly and truly, it could end in a couple of different ways. But whatever it is, it's going to be abrupt. And even the old might become new again. I know that's vague, but I can't define it any more than that. So, that's it, guys. I won't talk anymore. Bye.